If you're looking for the best performing off-meta decks, you've come to the right place. So we're going to look through tournament results from the last week or so, the first week of Wisdom of Sea and Sky in this case, and we're going to be looking for some rogue decks. So the criteria for rogue decks is it has to have made the top cut in a tournament with at least 100 players. And it has to sort of be unique amongst its peers in terms of like what's in the deck. But these are more like just guidelines. Hey, I'm Andy. I make videos about the competitive scene in Pokemon TCG Pocket. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, maybe a cheeky sub, and let's get into it. So we're going to start off with the Frog EX Weekly Cup, which is like last Friday? 303 players, so a pretty big tournament this week. And let's start off, we've got 12 Kokopelli 34. So they were running a Typhlosion Turtonator build, and that got them top 16, which is very impressive. Haven't seen this deck anywhere else. So you got double Typhlosion with its new ability to burn things in the active slot, and also it also works from the bench as well. And then 2 copies of Turtonator as well. So you've got Kiawe to power up the Turtonator. Lyra is also very useful because I'm assuming the idea is you have the Turtonator on the bench, fire spinning. If you need to pull it out, you've got Lyra there. So fairly straightforward, but it's pretty impressive that it made top 16. In 27th place, we have a Primarina EX Greninja deck. Again, showing that Primarina can still compete a little bit. So you've got Primarina EX, doesn't hit very hard. But at the same time, once you get the healing from like Lilies, you got Irida, and then Primarina's own healing, it can be a bit tricky to take down. I kind of wonder if this deck is a little bit too slow to compete at the higher levels though, because you don't have the usual sort of Sylveon card acceleration. Then we've got Ruben21 in 46th place with something that has been sort of talked about a little bit, but a Alolan Executor and Sarina. So your Alolan Executor does 150, but only on a coin flip, otherwise there's nothing. So introducing the new supporter Will, which guarantees a coin flip. You've got 2 chances. Well, normally it's 50-50, but then Will can just guarantee it. And then backing him up, you've got the very like cheap energy cost of Sarina. So flip 3 coins, and you do 50 damage for each head. So Will can also help in this case of getting you a guaranteed 50. Which will probably make a difference in some cases. And then you've got Mallow to heal all the energy. Mostly it works on the Sarina, just because it heals all the energy, and then it heals all the damage and then removes the energy. But because you're only 1 energy, it's not a big deal. Especially because you can leaf cape it to 160. That's fairly tanky in the active slot. And that should give you enough time to go into the Alolan Executor. But even then, you've got the Growth Spurt Executor as well. So once you've got 1 energy, you can get a second one on there with the Growth Spurt, and then next turn you're ready to go into Tropical Hammer. Doing 150s that quickly is pretty devastating in some cases. And even if you don't have the Will, there's a 50-50 chance anyway. So close to the edge of the top cut in 56th place, Nidaiden, trying, as we've all done, to make Gengar EX work. So there's a slight variation on decks that were running in the previous meta where they're using Dusknoir. So you've got Sylveon to just draw into cards. Although now we have Find a Friend Eevee, which is going to make drawing your cards easier, your Pokemon cards easier. And then Cleffa also does the same thing, which gives you a lot of card draw specifically on Pokemon, which is what you need because you want the Dusknoir so you can heal the Gengar. You want the Gengar out as early as possible so you can start shutting down other people's supporters. Still don't think Gengar EX is there. Like, it's probably going to take a new version for it to work properly, but this does look like a better version of what's been run before. So next we got the Zatumi's Econ Cup, which is about 140 players. So a small top cut in this case of top 16. And the sort of unique deck here is, again, we've come back to Alolan Executor. So they've got 2 copies of the Alolan one. Then we've got 1 copy of Executor EX, because also like Executor EX never really stopped being good. Maybe other stuff sort of around it got better to sort of push it out a bit. But when this comes out on curve and just starts swinging for 80, like, it's brutal. And then you've got Will, you just guarantee the 80. So you can just end games in some cases. And then on top of it, you've got Find a Friend just to make getting the pieces more reliable, and then Leafeon EX that just gives you an alternative start. So if you start with Eevee in the active slot, You can find a friend, and then next turn you're solo beaming, and then after that you can just start ramping up your Alolan Executor if it's on the back. So then we've got the New Age Terremoto X Trainers TCG, which is 289 players, so another big one. So in this case we do see Froggy X, Wawan S running another similar Alolan Executor build, this time with Non-EX Leafeon, which is interesting, and also a Magmi for tossing on Fire Energy. So it may seem like, well, why would you run Magmi if it's Fire Energy? You're probably running Grass as your main source of energy, and then this is just giving you, because Grass doesn't have a baby that ramps, you probably could just have double Pichu in this case as well. So that gives you another opportunity to be able to ramp your Alolan Executor straight off the bat. Okay, next we got the usual big one of the week, so 839 players in the Ursa Day Pocket Weekly. In 10th place, going 821, was quite a unique one where it's Silverly Darkrai. 3 babies, all giving you free energy. Doesn't really matter because you're probably just running Dark Energy for the Darkrai, and it doesn't matter because Silverly is neutral. So the main thing is the babies with the ramp, they can ramp. Silverly is now incredibly fast if it gets ramped this way, because then you can just come out on your first energy. If you go first, you ramp with Toasty Toss or Crackly Toss, and then on your first energy, you evolve into Silverly, you put a second energy on, and you're hitting for 100, which is absolutely brutal. And then while Silverly's doing all that, you've then got Darkrai that can start pinging, so suddenly it's like 120 a turn. And then alternatively, you know, the Pichu or whatever, they can help ramp the Darkrai as well a little bit, so you can start attacking on your second energy with that as well. So it's a very interesting deck. Okay, it's also worth noting that there was a second one by Claudia Uwu, exactly the same deck list, I think. Pichu, Double Magby, Darkrai, Silverly, I think came in like 56th place. So this could be just, the thing with some rogue decks is they're just meta decks that are just like emerging, so this could be one to watch out for. So those are some of the top performing unique decks of the first week of Wisdom of Sea and Sky. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like, and then maybe give me a cheeky sub as well. Also, if you've seen any other unique decks on ranked or in other tournaments, maybe let me know, put it down in the comments down below, and I'll see you later, yeah?